Welcome to another session of the Linux. So in this video, we're going to see how to write a Linux commands. So we'll starting from this directory management commands. If you have this Linux environment in your system, we can use the Linux environment. Or those who don't have the Linux environment, there are various kind of Linux environment available on the web based. I have one Linux environment called Killer Codas. I'm using it. Gets hands-on to practice the Linux commands. We can use those platforms to make it clear out the how to use those commands into real-time environments. So let's begin. So as we mentioned, this directory management commands are there. So how to create a directory, how to create a subdirectories, those commands will be covering into this session. So first command is mkdir and directory name. So this command start with the mkdir space directory name. So what is the purpose of this command? This command purpose is to use to create a new directory, a folder into the current location. So let's see how this mkdir command works in the real time. So type mkdir. So this means make directory. What is the directory name? I'll say directory A. So simple directory A I'll be using. If I hit enter, it should create a folder into my system. So once executed, it will go to the next line with the same Ubuntu colon and the still symbol and the dollar symbol. So once we start doing this, and now the next command which we are going to see in this Linux directory management commands is ls. So what is the purpose of ls command? This ls command is to list the contents of the current directory including files and the subdirectories. So if I type ls and hit enter, it shows me I have this directory A and the file system. So this is a default directory which is getting shown into this my browser based environment of the Linux. Now for this one in this directory, what I have this one in the directory for representation. If I create some files here, so there is one command touch is to create a empty command, empty file command. So I'll create file one.txt. So it will get create onto the root system, root folder. But I want to create into this directory A. So I'll say here dir slash file1.txt. So if I hit enter for this command, it will create inside this directory. And now I'll say ls, it will show only those two files. However, we are going to see the next command which shows everything for us. So next command is ls space hyphen r. So what is the purpose of this command? It lists out all the directories and the files into the current directory, including files and its directories within the subdirectories. So I'll say ls space hyphen r. So hyphen dash, we can use both words. So some region for this dash people call hyphen, and in some region people call it's a simply dash. Hit enter. So it is showing me this directory A and the file system. Also it is showing in this directory there is a file1.txt. Next command which is there is ls space dash a. So if I, so what is the purpose of this command? Purpose of this command to list out all the files and directory including hidden files and the directory that those that start with the dot. ls space dash a. So if I hit enter this command, it will show all the files and directory including hidden files and directories. So hit enter. So it shows all the files which are hidden. So this dot bash rc dot thia, everything it will show, and this directory which is created by us. So ls space hyphen a shows all the directories. Next command in this context which we are going to see is ls space hyphen s. So this command, what is the purpose of this command? This command lists the files and the directories along with the amount of disk space in the blocks, amount of disk space in the blocks each item occupies. So I'll say ls space hyphen s. So it is showing like this. If I create some files or some directories here, mkdir space dir b, and some empty file will be creating here, touch and dir b slash file 2.txt. So in this directory I'm creating the file, this one. So now I again write this command ls space hyphen s. It is showing me this directory A, directory B, and this file system, which is the existing system file. So it shows the disk space occupied by these directories. So there is no file folder system in this one file. So it is showing 0, and for us this empty file 4, and here is also empty file 4. So now in this context, we are going to see next command is to ll. So what is the purpose of this command ll? The purpose of this command is similar to the ls space hyphen l, and list the detailed information about the files and directories, including permission, ownership, size, and date of the last modification. So let's see how it shows. I'll putting it enter, and now if you see this file, this directory information, how it is showing. So this is the root. At the roots level, these are the file which are the hidden as well, it is showing, and the files which we created. So you can see at this session the root, and this is the size of the blocks, and that when we created this file and directory, same it shows for the another directory and the existing directory. That's how it shows. Now next command which we are going to see is ls space hyphen al. So purpose of this command is the combination of ls space hyphen a and ls space hyphen l. So to list out all the files and directories, including hidden ones, with the detailed information. If I hit enter, it should show all the information. Now somewhere we required to create a multiple directories. Now we created dir a and dir b, but sometimes if we know this directory all at one instance, we can do those directories at into the single command only. So for example, this directory a and b we created same way, dir c, dir d, this kind of directories also we can create it. So if I hit enter, these two directories should be created. I'll say ls. So you can see this using a single command we have created ls mkdir a, mkdir directory a, mkdir directory b. So in the single command we can create like this as well. And sometimes in these directories we want to create a subdirectories as well. So that also we can create it. For example, mkdir. Now here in dir e, we are going to create a subdirectories as well. So if I hit enter like this mkdir e, dir e, then only this directory is going to create. However, in this parent directory, so to make this dir e as a parent directory, I'll be do hyphen p, and for this directory, what we are going to do is we are going to create a subdirectories like dir e1, dir a2, like this. If we create it, it means those directories it will create inside those folders. Hit enter. So I do this ls, so only this directory e is the all information available. So now to see all these things available into this directory, we can do ls space hyphen r. So it will list out all the details. So if you see, all this directory is getting shown here for this command result lsr. So all directory is getting shown, and in this directory only one file. In directory b we have another file, directory c and d are empty, but in the directory e we have subdirectory e1 and subdirectory e2.